What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the show. We got a good one today. We're going to be talking about what's next for Umar Nurmagomedov. We're going to be going over Umar responding to Merab and also Sean O'Malley responding to Umar win over Corey Sandhagen. Guys, we have a really good one today. And then also we're going to have a little bit of a fun one. Arman Sarukian talking some shit to Michael Chandler. So we want to get right into it. Umar, as you know, just had an amazing win over Corey Sandhagen. If you did not watch the fight on UFC Fight Night that just happened over the weekend, it was absolutely spectacular. I thought it was a great fight. Umar, in my opinion, I scored it 5-0. So 5 rounds Umar, 0 to Corey. Even though Corey in the beginning, he kind of quit doing it after the third round. He continued to switch stances, but he just could not find his jab. And then also whether, Corey was throwing a kick, Umar would try to, turn it into a takedown. Umar would throw a punch, turn that into a takedown. Basically anything that could happen, Umar would turn into a takedown. Umar reminded me of Khabib. Islam and Khabib are two very different fighters. How Umar is similar to Khabib is because Umar consistently goes for that double leg and then he consistently goes for that back. The only significant difference between Umar and Khabib would be Umar's striking, guys. Oh my gosh, he was outstriking Corey Sandhagen. In the fourth round, Corey had a really good uppercut that seemed to almost change the pace, but he didn't follow up. He didn't do anything else besides that one uppercut sequence in the third round. Umar Nurmagomedov had his way on the feet. Now on the ground, Corey Sandhagen's freaking defensive wrestling was nullifying all of his submission attempts. It was a very close fight. It was a great fight. I thought it was very entertaining. So now they're saying, what's next for Umar? Is it too soon for him to get a title shot? Or do you think this guy is now popular enough after fighting a big name and winning that he can go and fight for the championship belt, which is going to be the winner of Merab and Sean O'Malley? I personally think that Sean O'Malley is going to start Merab just because he knocked out Aljamain Sterling. If he can make it through Aljamain Sterling and Peter Yan, I don't think Merab is going to be a threat at 5'2" with a sniper. And also Merab has a button, guys. He has been knocked out before. So I want to go ahead and play this. It's going to be Merab was talking some trash, and Umar went ahead and responded.
Next up, let's take a look at Umar Nurmagomedov fires back at Merab Dvalishvili. Umar Nurmagomedov's win over Corey Sandhagen on Saturday in Abu Dhabi cemented his place as the #1 contender at bantamweight after 6 straight wins. Now, after Sean O'Malley and Merab Dvalishvili compete for the bantamweight title at the Sphere, Nurmagomedov will get his crack at UFC Gold. The way the machine sees things, it's heartbreaking that Nurmagomedov is getting a promotion push from the UFC when he had to claw his way up the rankings to get his crack at the title. In response, Nurmagomedov took to social media to fire back at Dvalishvili, writing, "Yan fought for a title after 6 wins. O'Malley after 4 wins. Merab could fight for title with Aljo last year. You have to stop crying. You just scared that I'll take everything from you." As Nurmagomedov explained leading up to his fight with Corey Sandhagen, he hopes that O'Malley gets the job done at UFC 306 because he's a bigger name to compete against. However, following his victory over Sandhagen, Nurmagomedov also made it clear that he believes he matches up well with both O'Malley and Dvalishvili, and doesn't care which opponent he fights for the 135-pound title.
BuzzBrands offers a wide variety of high-quality, low-cost, and low-dose THC options. It's made for the functional person who uses THC, whether it's to enhance life, for pain, or for mood. They have energy drinks, my personal favorite, gummies, shots, and ice creams, guys. Whenever you make a purchase, enter Bear in the notes. On August 25th, I'll pick 2 or 3 of y'all, and we'll send y'all a huge care package of random items from BuzzBrands, guys. That's buckabuzz.com. Enter Bear in the notes. Let's get back to the show. Okay, guys, so we're leaving it there. As you can see, obviously he knows, or at least Umar is extremely confident, he is fighting for the title next. That is what the matchmakers have told him. I'm super excited for that. Like I've been saying, I've been wanting a change up in the bantamweight division, making it more exciting. Sean O'Malley has definitely done that, and now we have Umar Nurmagomedov, who's about to even make it more exciting. And so I'm just excited to see this change up in division. I really want to see stylistically Umar Nurmagomedov versus Sean O'Malley. I think Umar is a much harder version than Merab. I'm already in my head is guaranteed Merab loses to O'Malley. I think Umar versus Sean O'Malley would be an extremely good fight. I want to see how good is Sean O'Malley's defensive wrestling. Yes, did he use some of it against Aljamain Sterling? Absolutely, but Aljo, he's a different wrestling style than the Dagestani wrestling that, the Nurmagomedovs and the people from that region are used to. So I really want to see that. And also I want to see the striking. Does Umar have a chin? Can he take a hit from a sniper like Sean O'Malley? And then secondly, can Sean O'Malley, does he have a chin? We know it's definitely been tested, but he has been rocked pretty hard before. What's that going to be like with someone who has a little bit more volume? I think Umar is going to pick up the pace even more with Corey Sandhagen. It was a little bit hard for Umar because he realized that Corey was going to continually stuff his takedowns, so he did it on the feet. How's that fight going to play off with Sean O'Malley? So now, let's go ahead and let's talk about Sean O'Malley reacting to Umar winning.
You think he could chin Umar?
I think he could chin, anybody in the division. Umar is a tough fight. I thought Aljo was the toughest fight in the division for me at the time. Knocked him out. I think Umar's probably one of the toughest challenges in the division right now.
And Umar said he's ashamed that you're champion and he doesn't know why Aljo, why did Aljo just what'd you think about that?
I mean, I don't know. I think it makes it's an interesting match. O'Malley versus Nurmagomedov. One way I could become, bigger than Connor, like I've claimed to have wanted to be, is do what he couldn't do. Beat a Nurmagomedov, take away the O, and do what Connor. He's already mad at me, jealous, but this without really sting him. So
did Dana say that's what would be next?
No, I haven't really talked to him. Figgy beat Cheeto on the same card. Figgy called me out. That could be next. I don't know. Max versus Ilya is coming up. I would love an opportunity to go up to 45. So Max, Ilya, Nurmagomedov, Figgy.
It probably a lot of it depends on how you beat Merab too. If you beat Merab a boring decision, or if you flatline him and lay him flat.
Flatline anybody. Yeah, so I feel like I'll be able to make a call out. Obviously, last fight I beat Cheeto, called out Ilya, didn't get that fight. So just because you win doesn't mean you're gonna be able to pick. But I go out there flatline Merab. I feel like that call out would mean something, and it depends what happens. Max and Ilya fight in October. Maybe Umar and Figgy fight. We'll see.
Guys, pretty crazy to see how many options Sean O'Malley actually has on this. And so, obviously what's next after Merab? I think that he flatlines Merab. I don't even think that's a question anymore. We can't just keep saying, hey, the wrestler's going to beat the striker every time. It's not Khabib Conor era anymore. Think about Ilia Topuria, Sean O'Malley. We're having striking dominant people that are knocking out people who are good on the ground. Also, Tom Aspinall, Alex Tejeda. Yes, Tom Aspinall does have ground game submission. So does Topuria. Actually, so does Sean O'Malley too, but mainly they are on the ground. On their feet. That is their bread and butter. That is how they're looking for that win, is by getting the finish. Now, with Nurmagomedov, I think it's a completely different fight. And now, guys, who do you think is going to win? Topuria versus Max Holloway. Who do you think is going to win? If it's the same Holloway that came in versus Justin Gaethje, is Holloway going to systematically break down Topuria, drag him into deep waters, which Topuria has never been into, never seen in fifth round, and just go ahead and finish him? Or is Topuria going to viciously knock out Max Holloway early and violently? I cannot wait to see that fight, because either of those guys fighting Sean O'Malley would be insane. Insane. I like the fights that make me nervous, like when you like someone so much you don't want them to lose. Like, could you imagine freaking Max Holloway versus Sean O'Malley? I don't know who I'd want to win more. And I definitely would not want to see them both lose. I'd probably cry when one of them loses. Think about Gaethje versus Holloway. If you're a diehard UFC fan, these are two of the absolute creme de la creme fan favorite fighters. You don't want any of them ever to lose. You only want to see them fight. And when they got pitted up against each other, I was like, man, it's going to suck. And I thought Holloway was going to get slept. And instead, Holloway slept Justin after beating the crap out of him for 5 rounds. The first round, Justin looked good. He was slipping kind of. He looked like a really good boxer. He had his footwork. But the thing is he's not going to outbox Max at the end of the round, even though the commentator said it was a body kick. That was wrong. He did a spinning back kick, kicked him in the nose. That's what broke it the very last second of the first round and changed the fight. So with that one, guys, Holloway Topuria will now fight O'Malley after he fights Merab. Or do you think that O'Malley is going to go straight to Nurmagomedov? I think, like what he said, if he spectacularly knocks out Merab, He's going to freaking do whatever he wants to do. He can call out, Topuria, Max Holloway, or he can call out Nurmagomedov. I think, obviously, Sean O'Malley wants to fight a Topuria or Holloway. It is a bigger money fight, and if you guys know, the only time you really, really, really make money, unless you are a smart businessman on your social medias, you're already having other streams of revenue, building up different businesses. Sean O'Malley is actually a great example of that. Patty Pimblett is another great example of that. People who are already making money before getting into the UFC. But I'm saying UFC is your only source of income. The only time fighters really start making money is when they get the belt and when they defend the belt, actually, and then they start making pay-per-view points, guys. So you win the belt, you don't get pay-per-view that fight. It's not until you defend the title. So that's when you need to start making and saving your money. So Sean O'Malley wants to be smart. He's like, hey, I want the biggest and best fights. Obviously, if he's fighting Merab, you can't really say he's ducking anyone because he's fought in Aljamain, he's fought in Jan. He's going to fight Merab, which everyone was saying stylistically, all these guys are the hardest matchups for him. I hope he knocks out Merab because I would love to see a super fight, him move up to Topuria or Holloway. I think Topuria would be the coolest because there's more of like a danger of one of them just going to freaking sleep. And so I'm going to leave that there on that story on. With that, we're going to get into Arman Tsarukyan just lays into Michael Chandler. He's definitely shadowed or mentioned some things how I feel about Michael Chandler, which is that he's kind of a nobody in the UFC. But let's go ahead and hear what he has to say.
Were involved in a heated back and forth on social media after McGregor called out Donald Trump for naming Khabib Nurmagomedov as his favorite fighter. In one of his responses, Chandler wrote that his fight with McGregor was off, drawing the attention of Arman Tsarukyan, who responded writing, "Does it mean we can finally watch you lose 4 exciting fights now?" He then followed it up, sharing a post from June 2023, where he wrote, "Hey Mike Chandler, if you think the fight with Conor is still happening, you're as dumb as your fight IQ." In his repost, Tsarukyan pointed out that the fight still has yet to happen, writing, 14 months later. The MMA community was quick to weigh in on the exchange, with one fan writing, "Damn, near a 10-1 for Arman, and he's 100% right. Chandler wasted his UFC career away, sadly." Another fan,
Yeah, what do y'all think about that, guys? Michael Chandler, Arman Tsarukyan, man. Arman kind of came out of nowhere. If you are a diehard fan, you know who he is. Obviously, you know who he is now, but if you didn't know about him, he was a guy who had his first fight in the UFC, his debut against Islam Makhachev. It was a 3-round fight, high-level grappling fight. 2 rounds were basically a tie. Islam was the one who had a better gas tank, and he didn't come in on short notice like Arman did. I believe Arman was on short notice, and Islam won the 3rd round, thus winning the fight unanimously. Now, all that time has passed. Now Arman has beaten Charles Oliveira, and he is looking to go for Islam Makhachev next with a full fight camp. Now, he's talking about Michael Chandler. Arman is next in line probably for the title or for a title contention shot. Michael Chandler has been wasting all his time for Conor McGregor. Who is, Michael Chandler? Bellator champion, awesome, whatever. Comes to UFC, lost to all the awesome guys, spectacular fights, but has been knocked out by everyone. I'm not saying knocked out as in went to sleep, but think about Oliveira. Knocked him out. He gets dazed every fight. The fights he doesn't get finished, he gets dazed where he's basically knocked out, comes to, gets choked out, or he gets knocked out, except for Tony Ferguson. He did a freaking front kick, kicked him in the chin, knocked him out. It was awesome, but the thing is, Michael Chandler is not a high-level fighter, and he's been off, for freaking almost 2 years on hiatus since he's been fighting. And yeah, he isn't that skilled of a fighter. His IQ is not that high. He fights more like an athlete, like a power athlete, like a gymnast, he explodes forward. Rather than trying to make an entry, with footwork or jabbing, or feinting something and then trying to get in, he literally just explodes forward, prays that someone, whenever they hit his freaking face 100 times, he doesn't go to sleep, and he prays that his fist, these looping punches, will knock out somebody when they land. So I thought that was pretty entertaining, guys. I'm going to leave it here. Not too much going on for the MMA world except for the Alex Pereira claims and accusations, which I've already covered. Guys, go through my YouTube. Give me some likes. Give me some subscribes. I didn't post this last Monday, so the YouTube algorithm gods literally gave me 2 views on my last video. I don't know why. They hate when I don't post on Monday, so I'm going to start consistently doing that. September 1st, I'm going to pick one of my followers randomly. I'm going to give you a pack of free Pro V1 golf balls with your YouTube handle on it. Or if you're over the age of 21, I will send you a goodie package from Buzz Brands on buckabuzz.com. Leaving it there. I'm out. Peace.